Well, as many of you know, my name is Raymond Fajardo. I just got done running the LA Marathon a couple weekends ago, and I wanted to make this video just saying thank you to everyone that contributed to the fundraiser that I did for the McCourt Foundation. And the way that I wanted to set it up, just to kind of keep it super simple, I have my buddy Humberto here who was kind enough to help me out with all of this equipment so that we could get this done. I just wanted to say thank you, give a little brief description of everyone that donated, and keep it as simple as that. So first off was Sonia King from the King family, and coworker of mine who's actually donated to multiple races that I've done fundraising for, and she was first to donate each time. So it's been really cool to see that that was something where people can partner with me, celebrate with me, and then it's more encouragement along the way, which has been really awesome. And throughout the whole process, the congratulations afterwards, and getting to see me show up back to work and hopefully all in one piece, which is great for all of us. So the next on the list, my boy Sky. We go way back from Saticoy days, having him there at the liquor store, all the way now to Happy Place Eatery, being downtown on Main Street. So it was really awesome when I hit him up, and he was also one of the very first people that was willing to contribute and be a part of this whole deal with the LA Marathon. Next on the list, we got Joey Saucedo, and again, it's been great to be able to run with him. Someone also who's really big on like technique and form and just being completely open. It's always nice to have a family man and someone that's just willing to share the experience of running and who's got a lot more experience than I had. I was appreciative for him. And then we got Carlos, Big Carl Tino. It's been cool seeing him develop his Muay Thai skills, getting runs in when we can, nearly dying on a couple trail runs, but we all got to live and learn. So I was very appreciative that he was able to donate as well. And then there's Victoria. So that's always cool to know someone that I've been involved with in the church life, and to be able to see that it translates well, and to be able to have this be something that we celebrate together as well. Definitely appreciative for all the prayers and the contribution. And then the next up, we got Adi and Brandon from Run Free Running Club, which was awesome to know that they're willing to contribute. Obviously, it's been fun getting runs in when I can with my schedule, but always good people to know, texting, sending funny things back and forth on social media, and then also to see how cool it's been to watch them develop their podcast and see where that's taking them also. The next up, probably the most sentimental on the list, is the boy Duke. He's definitely someone that carried me through learning all the different gadgets for running, the heart rate monitor, which I like to call the bra strap, and then also like whether or not to get a watch, what kind of shoes to wear, how many millimeter drop, what kind of form to have when I'm running. All these things that like we grinded out so many miles every weekend pretty much, at least a couple times a month if we weren't able to do it every weekend. So, and then also to actually run the marathon together and hang out afterwards. It was an incredible experience that literally between my brother and Duke, they were the two most influential people as far as me signing up and me taking it as seriously as I did. So I'm very appreciative. And then next up, we got the John Rads, John Conrad and his family. Again, super cool people to have known in the faith life, and then also to see, the local runs that we've had out here as far as the 5Ks and different things where, his kids are really involved in running now, and we all get to celebrate and cheer each other on and even compete sometimes. But it's awesome to know good people in good places and to be able to celebrate life together in that way. I think short and simple, my friend Ariel, she was definitely someone also who, meeting locals, hanging out, going on hikes. It was nice to see someone that is very family-minded, super private in their life, and yet the second that I sent the link about donation or, looking at the fundraiser, didn't hesitate to help support. I'm very grateful for that. Next up, I got Kodiak. I can't say enough about being able to meet him through Muay Thai, come to find out that Papa Ron is a mutual connection, and then for him to be willing to donate and to kind of cheer me on, periodically throughout as we were training Muay Thai and hanging out. I'm really grateful to have him in my corner. So next up, I got Barbara. It's awesome. Someone that was a coworker of mine. We're able to keep in touch throughout, and then again, just sending out a link, and someone that was willing to immediately donate and has been cheering me on through the process. I think she was actually the very first person when I finished to congratulate me on finishing, so that was really awesome. And then after that, we got Randy. What's been really awesome is that Randy actually is someone who became an author. We met in Santa Barbara at a play, sitting front row, and ended up keeping in touch ever since. So it's been cool to cheer him on in his writing process, and then also for me to be able to, again, someone that I send a link to about something periodically, and he's always willing to contribute. But then also even the conversations we've had, aside from any kind of fundraising stuff, or even aside from asking how the book stuff is going for him, it's just been someone to have really cool, wise man conversations with. So I appreciate you. My boy Brian, part of the tribe, it was definitely appreciative that he would be willing to help contribute. And he's been someone who's been cheering me along the way. We still got to get a run in together, but I guess time will tell. And then my boy Daniel, I mean, to be able to have him be someone that I finished my bachelor's degree with in the middle of COVID, and then to be able to see how he's doing in his personal life as far as, Farmhouse Rentals has been a company of his that's been taken off. And it's been cool, again, that he's willing to contribute, someone that we cheer each other on in life, whether it's, our next academic endeavor or even just trying to see, what's next in general with life. It's been cool. Yeah, Carla and Brando, again, originally people that I met through Run Free Running Club, but then also immediately hitting off a bromance with Brando. He's makes some of the coolest, quirky music, and Carla has some of the freshest running gear, no matter the distance. So I appreciate that. And these next ones, I mean, they're all part of my cohort for CSU Long Beach for our Masters in Social Work. Tabitha, Amy, and then as far as locally, as my cohort in particular with Ventura, to have Jasmine, all of them being willing to contribute was really awesome because, again, it's people that I see every week. It's people that I'm doing a lot of endurance with as far as getting all the schoolwork and the internships done, and yet they were still willing, through all the insanity of a grad program, to still help financially contribute. Was really touching. And I couldn't do it without Joy and the family. It's definitely awesome. Her daughter calls me Uncle Raymond, and thinks that I have all these endless connections, which then, when you end up doing a TV interview, kind of makes it seem like I do, even though I really don't. But so it's always good to see her contributing and to be able to cheer on her and her family as they continue to be awesome people. And then next would be, my boy James, and really it's the Clay Commercial Security that, another person who would contribute regardless, doesn't ask me as far as me putting up the logo like I did on the website, and being able to do something like this. It's not even a thought of his, it's just who he is as a person, which again speaks volumes to how grateful I am to have people like that in my life. So Roxana, that's actually my elementary school nurse, and being a little fat kid, I was in the elementary school nurse's office a lot. But she's someone, again, who it's been really awesome to keep in touch, and for her to cheer me on and then end up contributing was really touching. And then also thinking about my buddy Gerardo, someone who's always grateful to be present. He's someone that I've gained a lot of insight and wisdom from, and just another person who, the fact that he would contribute, and then also to just be cheering me on and checking in on me and seeing how it was going throughout the training process was really encouraging. And then Rachel, the grumpy cat. It was definitely awesome sharing the Long Beach program when we did, and to be able to still keep in touch. Still love the party time shirt that she gave me with the little wine rats. Very ritzy. It's one of my favorites. And then my boy Nino, I mean, someone that, again, I don't always get to keep in touch with, but whenever we do talk, it's always immediately picking up on how great life is and sharing in our successes together. So I was very grateful that he was able to contribute. But next up, Jared and Mr. Road Tile. Again, just one of the most incredible, humble, family-oriented, and yet still hardworking people I know. Someone, again, who could care less if I shouted out his company, was just willing to see me do well, and wanted to cheer me on in the process. Also, some of the best redneck chili I've ever had, so very grateful. Oscar Lopez was definitely another one who helped keep me going. He was able to import some Oaxacan coffee beans for me, and ended up giving me some grasshoppers as well. So that was always an encouragement along the way. How could I have done it without Dr. Prince? Re-envision Med Spa, someone that literally has given me an IV drip at a Santa Monica house party. I don't know that I'll ever say that again about anyone else in my life, but to be able to share life together, to be able to do the really cool things we've done, and even just share the cool moments of hanging out and praying together. It's something where, again, the substance that these people bring to my life is, I can't say enough how meaningful it is. Next up, I got my boy Lee. I mean, really someone that is the epitome of an enthusiast when it comes to both lifting and cycling, and also just being a great friend overall. So again, it's like someone that I'm super grateful he's in my corner, and it was awesome to see him be able to contribute. When I think of someone that's been contributing to me keeping my sanity in this final year of my Long Beach Masters program, it would definitely be Eileen. So for her to be able to contribute to the fundraiser was unexpected and also very exciting, because it's someone again who like has been nothing but a godsend throughout this last school year for me. And it was cool to be able to talk periodically throughout the weeks about how my training was going in the middle of getting all of my internship hours, in the middle of doing all my school stuff, and managing to try and work and juggle a few other balls that life consists of currently. And then the homie Spencer, I mean, again, just such a ball of energy, light, and love. It's awesome to know someone that I get to share my journey with, and to see that he was able to contribute, and someone that was cheering me on along the way, trying to get him to stop wearing hokas, but one thing at a time. So the next up, we got Mitch, part of Rolling Ceros. Again, just someone who I think I might have posted the link on the Discord for Rolling Ceros Run Club, and he managed to find it and contribute from there. And then we've met at Santa to the Sea in different races locally. So it's been really awesome to have him be a part of the team. And then they have good old Vicky, again, someone from the Ventura Unified Squad. It's really touching to know that people that I'm doing life with outside of all the crazy physical activities, people that I'm just doing the mundane stuff with, are still willing to contribute and celebrate and ask how it was going throughout the process. So next up, we got Miss Jessica Wright, the Wright family. Again, somebody who literally we went to high school together, and then to end up working somewhat together, in the same general area. But then also someone that I ended up meeting at church again, and being able to see her and her family, and again, just people that are really genuine, and it's really awesome to have those kinds of connections. Yeah, and then next up, I got Dr. Cox, who again, part of the Cal State Long Beach deal. It was really unexpected, but also very touching that he'd be willing to contribute. I have somewhat of a mouth and somewhat of a dry humor to the way that I conduct myself at times, and he's been someone that has been kind enough to kind of professionally mentor me to the best of his ability, and keep me on track and keep me focused on the road ahead with this master's degree. So very much grateful. And then we got Danny Medina, Mr. Tattoo Artist of the World. Definitely very grateful. Cool seeing him when I do, and catching each other on Instagram when we're not hanging out in real life. And then Professor Lopez, Miss Lydia, another person who, was really awesome that she was willing to contribute. Really awesome to hear about her run stories and what it's been like for her, really throughout different experiences. So someone again where like I never really know what the experience will be like when I would share the link to donate, or even if I was just talking to people about the experience of training, and then to hear all these really awesome insights and being able to share these experiences where otherwise probably wouldn't have ever come up in the general moments that we shared. Then next up, again, another one of the Ventura Unified Squad, we got Jeannie. I very much appreciated someone that's been there cheering me on in recovery, cheering me on through the school process, and then also willing to help contribute to my LA Marathon ordeal. So I was very grateful. And then the big homie Omar, I mean, again, La Huerta is somewhere that even before I knew him was regularly hitting for juice, occasionally for a good torta, but then to be able to train Muay Thai with him and to be able to see everything come full circle, it never ceases to amaze me, and it's awesome that we can encourage each other and just continue to see where life takes us. And then next up, May and the Pleat family. Again, great people from Oxnard, Calvary Chapel. People that it's awesome to know that like when they say they're going to be praying for you, they really mean it. And then also to see where like even the food drives and the food banks, and seeing how that relationship has developed, and watching her kids even come out and help. It's things like that like really contribute to having a life that's substantial and meaningful. And I'm super grateful that my boy Ricky Staub would be willing to contribute also. Neighborhood Film Company, I remember he was another person where when we had first crossed paths through a local church, was extremely humble extremely unassuming, and then to come to find out that, he's worked with all these heavy hitters in the industry, and even with his own company, believes really in putting his money and his time where his mouth is, and contributing to helping people that were formerly incarcerated find careers and find talents and watch them use that. Another one of the incredible people who, like, you'd have no clue with as soft spoken and as kind as he is, and yet to know how much he does and how many lives he touches, and to be a solid man of God and a solid husband and a solid father. What an incredible person to know. And then probably the most respectful way, the best contribution I could probably give would be the loudest runner. Sandra, I appreciate so much. It's been awesome, whether it's out, I think, on the Bulldog Trail, getting to hear her cheer, and then also, even just the Camarillo runs and other places in Ventura. But yeah, definitely someone I'm always appreciative when I know that she's going to be providing her extremely energetic vibes to the trails. And then next up, I mean, yeah, Roxana Flores. It's been awesome. I mean, literally someone that I just finished doing an interview with myself for my master's in social work, and another person where, sharing about what I was doing with this LA Marathon fundraiser, and was immediately willing to contribute. I'm grateful that all these different threads of my life come together the way that they have. And then another awesome coworker, the very sweet Nellie. I was grateful that she was so willing to contribute. Someone that her and the little girl squad at my work, they are regularly working out on their lunch break, and it's an encouragement to see that they're still out there taking care of their fitness, even in the middle of a busy work week. And man, the big homie Sean of Yakubian Muay Thai, someone who, again, like, larger than life for the many accomplishments and the many incredible things that he's done, and the people that he's built up, but then also someone who's incredibly humble and willing to just get his hands dirty and constantly learning, whether it's martial arts or the business side of life. Just an incredible person. The brief amount of time I've been able to get to know him and to continue to grow in sharing life together. Someone I guess I would consider Kuya David. It's, again, someone who's in love with the toe socks, probably even a little bit more than I am. Really grateful that he was willing to contribute. We share running, we share social work, and it's awesome. I'm looking forward to the journey ahead. And then Miss Esmeralda Anel, from the Strava homie. Really, it's been incredible to know that someone who has done a bunch of marathons, who's regularly training well, and to see that she again was willing to contribute so immediately. It's really awesome to know that there are people like that I'm really connecting with around the world. Man, the next up being Cyrus of Wata, water access to all. Someone that, again, meeting through Rolling Shadows, it's been awesome to see how the run clubs will mix with philanthropic efforts, and then to watch how those all come together. Because, again, like back when I used to make music, my whole thing was the lifestyle, not the label. Meaning that literally I wanted every piece of what I was doing to kind of integrate and incorporate and hold some kind of substance and depth. And that's been the case. I mean, to know that one of my aspirations when I graduate, once I find a somewhat stable position in my career field, I do want to take off with Wata and be able to experience what they're up to in all these different countries. So much love to the homie Cyrus. And to Adriana and the Reyes family, someone again who, just a local runner that is regularly training well while also managing to be a mother and a wife. And it's always encouraging to see the wholesome activities like that on Instagram, and then occasionally at races or different meets where we do all get to run together. It's really encouraging, again, to know that there's so much going on and we all have our lives in so many different directions, but yet we could find those little moments of time. Man, the next up, Mr. Miller, Kyle. I mean, again, somebody who it's been incredible to have met the way that we did and to contribute to each other's lives the ways that we had. I mean, as far as someone that's walking the walk in faith with me, and then also to see him get into Muay Thai as he has been. And actually, he will be running the Bakersfield Marathon at the end of this month. So someone who also I will look forward to cheering and being able to watch his little link and see how it goes for him out there in Bakersfield during his first marathon. And the homie Walter, I mean, again, just the incredible people that I've met throughout this process, doing the fundraiser for the McCourt Foundation. Los Angeles Roadrunners is a crew or a club that you can opt to be joined into, which normally comes with a paid membership, but it's part of the fundraising option. And that's where Walter and I met. We did the Griffith Park run together, and it's just people that I've met. I mean, they've been so incredible. The conversation, the tips that we were able to swap with each other, and then even down to the fundraising at times like this. It's really cool to see. Man, and my buddy Peter, someone who definitely is a sober member that does life with me. The really awesome thing is that, again, it's one of these things where one of the Saturdays I didn't have school, I looked up a meeting in North Hollywood. I went out there and became fast friends. And since then, we've met up a few times. He's come down and had Lebanese oven with me locally. We've hit a meeting locally. And times when we've even gone on trail runs out in Simi. Pretty significant distance and heights were met that day. And it was all incredible. So to know that he was willing to help fundraise and donate, I was very grateful. And my boy Tim, Mr. Redemption Studios, someone that I love to give a hard time to at church. Our running joke is the fact that the little place where they give you to throw your communion cup away, he calls it the communion trash, like it says on there. And it's also kind of how we both, without even knowing it, we both kind of looked at the communion trash sign and we thought maybe, that's how we were kind of viewed before we became Christians. So it was kind of funny that we shared that without even realizing it. But again, just someone who's always got an encouraging word while still being very much himself as a guy that's constantly putting in the work on cars and putting in the work with people that are in his life. And Tiffany might be one of the last ones from Ventura Unified. Actually, the very last person is the last person. But Tiffany is definitely another cool person, a bookworm. We get along in that way. And someone who, again, immediately when I mentioned the fundraiser, she was more than willing to contribute. I think the one funny thing was that I'd overheard she was reading a book with someone in recovery, and I thought the phrase that she used was indicative that maybe she was in recovery. Long story short, she is not, but I ended up getting to borrow the book. It was really insightful and impactful in my life. I was grateful for it, and we've shared the laughs about it ever since. And then the big homie from Serial Striking. I mean, again, another one of these people where to see the Muay Thai community come together with the running community and to be able to know that we are uplifting, whether it's the fundraising options or even if it's just the way that we're building each other through the martial arts, it's substantial. Man, and then another one of the most incredible people that I met through LA Roadrunners, Leslie Cohen, part of the Cohen law firm, and then also kind of the founder and the one running, the 310K foundation as well. I mean, literally just someone who exudes genuine nature. Everything about her is really awesome. Another family person, someone that's out there putting in the miles, literally and figuratively. And then Dr. Bayless, I know he'd prefer to be called Greg, but someone again who it's just been incredible to have someone like that to look up to on a work basis. And then also to see the type of family man he is, the type of man of faith that he is, and to know that like he's just genuinely who he is. It's been awesome to know that like we've been able to cheer each other on. Him obviously more with soccer. He's not trying to put in the miles, and I'm definitely not trying to get on that soccer field with him either. So we can encourage each other instead. Man, and then next up I got Stony Brook, which again, Adrienne and her husband John, just incredible people, local Ojai folks that I've gotten many a wonderful sourdough loaf from for both occasions and then also just to have around the house. Someone that again was incredibly willing and is no stranger to knowing what the body goes through from doing endurance sports. And then we got Professor Murphy, someone again who immediately when I sent the link was more than willing and contributed. Really cool that actually just this past weekend we were able to share about how her partner is getting into doing ultras and trail races and these things that we're able to share. She's actually, I don't even know if she would want me saying, but she's doing some martial arts stuff as well, which is nothing secretive. But it's cool because now, again, it's this other person where who knows if or how or when these cool little conversations would have been had, and our lives would probably go on without them. But to share those little moments with people, I'm very grateful, and it's encouraging. So Mart Foley, man, it's cool to see him start architecting wellness and to see everything that he's trying to really push forward as far as taking the body to whatever limits it can reach, but then also to do that in a mindful sense, knowing that while we want to push ourselves, we want to maintain our wellness throughout the process. Someone that I was really grateful to have contribute. Jess from Awkward Pastry, I'd been meaning to try the passion fruit pie for so long, and then when I had shared the fundraising information, she said, I'd be more than willing to donate a cake or a pie or whatever kind of, pastry you would want. So immediately I knew I needed to try the passion fruit. And actually, I was so excited for it that I didn't even try it leading up to the race. I'd picked it up because she was on her way to Japan, which technically she'll be getting back tomorrow when we're filming this. But I took it with me. I had it in the hotel, and I did not allow myself to have it until I believe the night before. My girlfriend and I finally cut into it and shared some of it together, and then I was able to share it subsequently, rationing off small pieces with people because I definitely wanted to savor it and share it with as many people as I could. One that I forgot to even put on the list because it was so last minute, but my coworker Erica actually contributed, I think, Saturday. You figure the morning before the race. So better late than never. I was grateful. And it was cool that another person who has been nothing but encouraging and is grateful to see me survive. And then another person who was super willing to contribute, but also wanted to do it in his own way. Jeff Rowe, the Rowe family from church, they wanted to see me do well. He asked me, like, could I get you a pair of shoes? And I said, I don't want to have you do that because they get pretty expensive. But, he actually contributed towards some of the crank supplements that I ended up buying, which were literally what I had on my running belt while I was running the race, but then also regularly what I was training with on my longer runs. So thanks again to Humberto. We just got done going one by one with this list, actually 2 pages full. I just wanted to read them off this time. So again, we have Sonia and the King family. We have Sky, Happy Place Eatery. We got Joey Sacedo. We got Carlos, Mr. Carl Tino. We got Sober Bill. We got Victoria on behalf of Daphne Riches. We got Adi and Brandon from Run Free Running Club. We got Duke, who really, I don't even want to say anymore because I'll say too much. John and the Conrad family. The homie Ariel from Ojai. We got Cody, part of the Fight Club 51 team. Barbara from Ventura Unified. We got Randy Grounds, really a legendary author in the making and just an all-around good dude. We got my homie Brian, Mr. Israel from the Tribe. Another one, Daniel Garcia, repping Farmhouse Rentals. Carla and Brando, the Posey family. We got Tabitha, Amy, and Jasmine, some of the Cal State Long Beach people that are in my master's in social work currently. Joy, again, another awesome coworker. Appreciate her. James, my boy from the Clay Commercial Security business. Roxana Baldonado. We got Gerardo Claudio. We got Rachel Castorina. We got Nino. We got Mr. Jared of Road Tile. We got Oscar Lopez. We got Dr. Prince from Re-Envision Med Spa. We got my buddy Lee. We got Eileen, the best clinical supervisor in town. We got Spencer. We got Vicky. We got Jessica. We got Dr. Cox. We got Daniel Medina, the incredible tattoo artist. We got Professor Lopez. We got Miss Jeannie. We got Omar coming out of La Huerta. We got May and the Pleat family. We got Ricky Staub, Mr. Neighborhood Film. We got Sandra. We got Miss Roxana Flores holding it down for the social workers. We got Sean Yakubian of Yakubian Muay Thai, literally a legend. Nelly. We got David. We got Miss Esmeralda, again, the Strava homie. We got Cyrus from Water Access to All. We got Adriana and the Reyes family. We got Kyle Miller. We got Walter from the LA Roadrunners. We got the homie Peter Nye just killing it out there in North Hollywood. We got Tim, again, my buddy from Redemption Studios out in Ventura. We got Tiffany from Ventura Unified. We got Mr. Chris from Serial Striking. We have Leslie, Miss Leslie Cohen Law for the 310K Foundation as well. We got Dr. Bayless, Mr. Greg. We got Adrienne and John Steinbach holding it down for Stony Brook Kitchen and Ojai. We also have Professor Murphy. We also have my boy Martin Foley. And then we do have a couple others, but yeah, Jess from Awkward Pastry. We got my coworker Erica, who actually didn't want to be mentioned, but I accidentally mentioned it anyway, so there it is. And then my boy Jeff Rowe, who actually contributed to my gel funds. That was an exhaustive list, and that's not even including all the people who maybe weren't able to financially contribute, but were still willing to literally pray with me, let me know that they were praying for me throughout the process. And then also people in recovery that I've been able to do life with, people that I've just seen around town, gotten to know along the way, different run clubs that have been partnering with me along the way. It's been an incredible process. And again, as someone who highly values my recovery and the sobriety journey that I'm on, someone that values my Christian faith, and someone that's always trying to contribute to bettering myself and through that process being able to better help others. This has definitely been a very high bar for my first marathon. I mean, to be able to finish in 3:19, to be able to get the experience that I did with the McCourt Foundation, to end up on KTLA 5, and also to end up having my mom on there with the big head cut out of me. I mean, so many incredible things. I mean, my girlfriend being able to catch my last 26 to the point two, literally a video of me finishing. I mean, like every single piece of this experience has been wonderful, all the way down to like being at the Fairmont Hotel that I was at, you know, literally watching the finish line to my left and the shuttles that I was getting on to my right. I would highly encourage, suggest, recommend peer pressure. If you have an opportunity to fundraise, no matter what the distance, definitely give it a shot, no matter what the perks, even whether it's really awesome stuff or nothing at all. Just to be able to be a part of something bigger than myself was a high encouragement throughout this process of, you know, 15, 20-mile weekend runs in the middle of school, work, internships. Every step of the way, it was really beneficial to know that I was doing it for something bigger than myself, and will continue to do so. So I love you guys. I appreciate this. And really, at the end of the day, if you're still watching, I don't know what you're doing, but thank you.
Yeah. Good shit.